3 reasons why I bought Robinhood stock, ticker HOOD, today. I'm really excited for this as a long-term play. There's a lot of different opinions on Robinhood because of some things that took place in the market, which we'll touch on in this video, and there are still some cons when it comes to this company. But I see 3 big reasons why I think Robinhood could soar over the next 5 to 10 years, and we're going to discuss them and break them all down in this video. At the end, I'm going to show you guys actually some income-producing ETFs that use Robinhood as the underlying, so if you're looking for dividends or growth, this video has it all. If you remember one thing from this video, I need it to be that this is a volatile company. The stock itself is down over 50% in the last couple of months. Now, before that, though, it had run up quite nicely, up over 300%, I think, at the peak. But when we're looking at the long-term chart for Hood, you can see it IPO'd in 2021. It IPO'd at $35, ran to $50, everyone sold out, and no one talked about it for years. Really, nobody was talking about this. And at one point, it was like $7. So you could have made almost a 2,000% return had you bought in at that low, but you would have had to sit on that money for quite a long time. Part of the reason was crypto has taken off, the markets have taken off, tech has taken off, and Robinhood has been adopting a lot of these things into its platform. They now have sports betting, but they can't call it that, futures or something like that. They try and, change the name because it can't technically, for legal reasons, be sports betting. It's not futures, it's something else. But they have crypto. They have a lot of different aspects that make it different than a lot of your typical brokerages, like Vanguard, like Fidelity, like Charles Schwab, and so on. So I am betting long on Hood. It might fall more. If it does, I will reinvest more. That's the simple point, is I don't think that it's going to remain stagnant for long. The chart does show in the last 6 months, we've seen it fall, and now we've seen it kind of bounce off of this 70, low 70s mark. If it falls below that again, we have no idea how far it can really fall because it's lost all support at that point. But I'm okay with that. If it continues to fall, I will buy in because there are some reasons why I really like Hood for the long term, which we're going to talk about right now. So the arguments I'm making in this video for Hood benefit the income versions and just the overall stock of HOOD. Now, I want to specify Robinhood unveiled a bunch of stuff at the beginning of this month, and I didn't make a video on it because I was like, I was thinking about it. I did a bit more research, and I finally was like, you know what? It is at a price point where I'm happy to own Hood, and if it does fall, it falls. We have to be, aware of that. That could happen. So what they announced is, one is the future of family finance. And this is a really interesting idea for me. It's not my favorite. Out of everything that they're doing now, it's definitely not my favorite. They're going to basically have one account that has like sub accounts where if you're like a parent or something and you want your kids on your account, it can kind of work as a bank, which does make sense. I mean, banking is super annoying and no one likes to go into banks anymore. I personally cannot stand it. If you guys know me, you know I cannot stand banks. And Robinhood has a lot more features that banks don't. Like if you're a member of their gold program, you can get like 3.5% on like a savings rate account. The bank's going to give you like 0.04%. I'm not even joking. That's how low they go. And so it's not something that I think everyone's going to switch to right away, but long term, I think this could be a moneymaker. And it's also a little bit weird because, like, at what point are your kids creating their own portfolios? Like, if you have 20-year-olds, are they going to be under like your umbrella of your portfolio, investing for themselves and so on? Not the worst idea. I'm just not sure how it's going to play out. So they talked about Hood for families. They talked about some interesting things like for income investors where you can actually get your dividends early. They announced the Robinhood Platinum card. And a lot of this is kind of interesting. If you're a member, I mean, it has a $700 annual fee, which could really benefit Robinhood's, gross returns. They're going to need a lot more money because the stock has been all over the place. Investing with the market pulling back a little bit like it has is slowing down. Crypto has slowed down exponentially. But they're going to give a bunch of offers, 5% in dine out or stay in, health and wellness, reduced travel, earn 10% cash back on hotels and rental cars, which is pretty crazy, 5% on flights, and so on. Then you have their new gold perks. And this is, I mean, I don't love the gold thing. I genuinely don't. They're going to get like crypto gifts. That's not worth signing up for gold and paying for the fee and whatnot. And I signed up for gold for a while. I never got the gold card. They never even responded to me. So I was like, no thanks. I canceled everything. So that was kind of a bummer. Early dividends. So rolling out in April, customers can receive dividends from major U.S. stocks up to 1 month before the official payment date, getting earlier access to cash and more time in the market. That's great. Not sure how they're really going to swing that, but it makes sense. Track all your accounts on Robinhood, including your accounts at other brokerages. See a breakdown of your investments by account type, diversification of your assets, things that a lot of third-party apps now allow, like Snowball Analytics, Blossom. Use my Blossom link if you want to see my full portfolio. Things like that. They're kind of integrating it into Robinhood. And then you have their markets and so on, and rewards, and all these different details. Some of them I think make a lot of sense. The Robinhood families thing isn't the like game changing thing in my opinion, but they do have something that I think is huge. We're going to talk about in just a moment. But I want to show you guys the use case for Robinhood, because this is where I think it really makes sense to hold this as a long-term position. We have to talk about profitability and the numbers behind Robinhood. So this website only has from 2024, but there's some key information I want to show you guys. It's showing that they made $3 billion in revenue in 2024 with a huge jump in Q4, much more than 2023, and they hadn't had a jump like this since kind of 2021. When we're looking at some of these numbers, you can see the revenue that they've been making, how it's been growing from 300 million to 900 to 1800, 13, 18, 29, and so on. So their numbers do bounce around quite a bit. We look at their users in the millions, 500,000, 1 million, 2, 6, 10, 10, 22, 23, 25. So their growth has slowed down a little bit, but they're still growing. And that's a really important factor. And I will say, I think there's a massive reason that they are still growing. And this is my little piece of insider information as a content creator. I use Fidelity primarily. I've used Robinhood, Webull, Moomoo, and so on. Vanguard, Charles Schwab. I know all of the brokerages. And the large brokerages like Fidelity, like Charles Schwab, like what else did I say? Vanguard, they do not utilize social media like at all. And that's where Robinhood absolutely takes over. It outperforms Webull and Moomoo in my opinion. And so it's interesting. Average account size of brokerage apps in 2024 compared to others. So Robinhood's average account size is $4,000. That's very little. It's very, very little. Lansdowne has 108,000, E-Trade 130,000, Charles Schwab 230,000. And did they acquire E-Trade? I think they might have. But when you're looking at the account size, it's because Robinhood typically has a younger demographic, much younger, much, much, much younger. And that's coming from someone that uses Fidelity. But what's really interesting is this account size won't be small forever. A lot of these people are growing up. Robinhood is becoming more mainstream. Even though they had that entire huge error they made where they halted trading. A lot of these brokerages also halted trading for GameStop and AMC and a couple of others at the time when markets were going crazy and shorts were getting squeezed and hedge funds were all going under because they were out of money. So it's really interesting that this is still such a small portion in 2024. And I imagine it is growing now because a lot of more investors are on Robinhood, so much so that when I create content, if I have Robinhood as the background, it typically will do better because people recognize it and they're used to it. So there are a lot more use cases for Robinhood coming down the line. In 10 years, a lot of investors, I believe, will still stick with Robinhood. They now have Roth IRAs, brokerage accounts, crypto. What did I say earlier? They have sports betting and so on. So it's very, very interesting that I think they're the future of investing. I think they will be the most popular. And so back to my little insider information for you guys, I reached out to Fidelity and a couple other large brokerages. And again, they don't do social media. They don't do content creation stuff, and they don't have to because right now they have billions of dollars, right? Because they have 401ks, they have Roth IRAs, they have all these accounts that recently joined Robinhood, and Robinhood gives you bonuses for transferring to Robinhood, but they still have to make up ground, right? Because these companies have been in action for a very long time and people trust them, and Robinhood has to build that trust. But I do think 10 years down the line, if they can maintain this trust building that they have been and keep putting out good products and keep changing the game in terms of how everyone's investing on a day-to-day basis, there could be huge pros and huge upside in Hood Stock's future. Now, when I talk about social media, Robinhood is doing something really special. So I talked about Blossom earlier. Blossom is like Instagram, but for investors. You talk about what you're buying, what you're selling. They have the tickers on there. There's tons of good information, and I really like it. I talk about what I buy, what I sell. It shows my entire portfolio. And Robinhood probably, I don't know if they saw this. I don't know if they thought of this themselves, but they liked the idea, whichever way it happened. So now they are creating kind of a social media side to Robinhood. You can follow people. You can see trades unfold in real time, see what they're doing. You can, all of this in your normal brokerage account too, by the way. So the problem with Blossom, and I like Blossom a lot, you have to link your brokerage. Robinhood's doing this as your brokerage. And then on top of that, you have everything else, prediction markets. That's what they call it. They can't call it sports betting. Crypto stocks, options, futures, prediction markets, trades, traders, and they're going to be starting this soon. It's not out yet, and there will likely be a lot of hiccups and bugs when it does come out. But I think this is a really amazing idea because turning investing into a social aspect, getting your friends involved, seeing what everyone's buying, what they're selling, why, it also adds a potential like Blossom has done Or you can really see someone's returns, right? If someone says, "Oh, I made all this money," you're like, "No, you didn't. I see it on Blossom. You sold this at a loss." So it is really cool that they're adding this in. And the amount of revenue, I don't think anyone understands this. And it really just hit me just now. I'm not even lying to you. The amount of revenue potential you have with a social media platform through Robinhood, because it's finance based. You know how much money people have. You know that the people that are on this app are investing, they have money. You are going to pay a lot more for ads on that than you would for something like Roblox, a bunch of 9-year-olds that don't have any money to buy anything. So from the AdSense perspective, this could be a huge money maker for Robinhood if they do go that route. We've talked about it enough. You guys know why I love Hood. Now, if you're looking for dividends, let's talk about some options where you could hold Hood, make some dividends. We have some options. HOOW by Roundhill is a 1.2x leverage version. HOYY by Granite Shares is their yield boost version. It writes options on a 2x underlying. HOII is the Rec Shares Hood. It is half a portfolio of income, half of growth. And HOOY is the Yield Max weekly pair. I believe, okay, no, all of these are weekly pairs. When we scroll down, we can see some of them are very new. So we'll go to the starting point for the last one, which was HOOY, which was 11/4 of 2025. And so we can't really get an amazing basis point to judge these off of because they haven't been trading for that long. We can see HOOY is down 52%, HOII 52, HOYY 63, and HOOW 62. When we go to our total return, however, we do see that the dividends have kind of helped. HOOY is down 40%, HOII 46%, HOYY down 41%, and HOOW down 52%, being the worst performer. And then actually the best performer is from Yield Max with Granite Shares right behind. So these are going to generate some pretty huge yields. The largest being HOOY and then HOYY and then HOOY. They couldn't have named the tickers a little bit, something different. These ones are, man, it's hard going back and forth. So Granite Shares and Yield Max are going to be some of the higher yielders, with Granite Shares being the highest. But you also need to have some protection in there. Granite Shares has that. I don't think Yield Max does. And then I think Rec Shares is probably my personal favorite. I like their strategy. I like that half the portfolio's growth, half of it is income. You're going to have a lower distribution rate by far because of that, but you're also going to have more growth if Hood is running like crazy. So there you go. You have 4 options for dividends. You can buy Hood, you can buy a 2X, you can buy an inverse. There are so many options when it comes to this stock, but I want to know your thoughts down below. Am I crazy? Is Robinhood not a good deal right now? Is it going to keep falling? Let me know what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. If you enjoyed it, you're going to like these that are popping up right now.